This is the Wisekrakrbusiness Warframe, and today a how-to on the Nekros, the very mysterious and dark Warframe. And you get his blueprint parts by doing Orkan Derelict assassination missions and killing the Levantes. And that brings us to the build. On the left hand side you can see a lot of strength and some extra range and duration. Later I'll explain why, but first, bring vitality and rage so that when your health goes down, you get energy. Streamline so that we have a little bit more efficiency. Flow because we need a lot of energy. Continuity, of course, for the power duration. And stretch because the Nekros abilities need to stretch out far. And for power strength we have blind rage and transient fortitude. But instead of transient fortitude, it is maybe smarter to choose intensify, because we will get some extra duration for that. The first ability is called Soul Punch, where you turn your enemy's soul into a deadly projectile, damaging all in its path. The more power strength you have, the more damage you do, and the more power range you have, Soul Punch will stretch out farther. When you use this ability, you do around 500 impact damage on a single target, and that target will be stunned and ragdolled all over the place. And everything that touches the soul that has been punched out will get damaged as well. With Terrify, you cast fear into the hearts of your enemies, and they flee to their mummies. With this build, you cause fear up to 20 enemies, and their armor will be reduced. And the number of affected enemies and armor reduction is affected by power strength. And since we have corrosive projection also installed, the armor reduction of Terrify will stack on top of that. And with this build, your enemies will be terrified for around 34 seconds, giving you enough time to sneak up on them and kill them. This ability is especially effective when there are large groups of enemies surrounding you, for instance, in a defense mission. The third ability is called Desecrate, and this is where you fondle your fallen enemies for some extra loot. The cast radius is affected by power range, but power strength does not affect this ability. Basically, this ability is very handy when you are in search of a lot of resources. When you cut certain enemies in pieces, every piece of that enemy can be desecrated. You can even desecrate the corpses of the shadows of the dead. So for every enemy you kill, there is a chance he will drop some extra loot. But that means there is also a chance he will drop nothing. And the last and ultimate ability is called Shadows of the Dead. You summon shadow versions of vanquished enemies to fight alongside you for a short period of time. The number of shadows are affected by power strength. And since this build has a lot of power strength, you will have a lot of shadows surrounding you and they will fight for you. Compared to their original selves, these shadow creatures will have the same amount of health, but will do extra damage. And with this build, they will fight for you for around 41 seconds. The shadows you create are created from the last 20 enemies you have given the killing blow to. A smart tactic for the Nekros is searching and destroying the enemies you want in your army of shadows of the dead. You can create, for instance, an army of very big bastards. I didn't want to make this Nekros build a supportive build, but a offensive build. So a build you can attack with. So this Nekros is strong enough to keep himself alive and to get his enemies killed. So let's check it out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this how-to on the Nekros. And if you want any other videos on Warframe, just check my channel out and subscribe and like everything you see. And until then, my good friends, adios. Oh no, he died. Aw. And you can even do flyby.